What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today I'm here to tell you everything you need to know for the most part about Life Debt by Chuck Wendig. And when I say for the most part, I mostly just mean towards the sequel trilogy, kind of the stuff that I picked up on that I think might come back later, some threads that I thought tied into some other books. There is a lot that happens in this book. There is a lot to cover in this book. That is not what I'm here to do. If you want like a full spoiler summary of this book, I would just recommend going and reading it on Wikipedia, all that kind of stuff. But I just want to talk about like the things that stood out to me and the things that I think will come up later. And where we want to start is the New Republic. So obviously the New Republic is very new. This is not very long after they kind of overthrow the Empire. Obviously the Empire is still around, but they're just sort of remnants. And we have the New Republic, this new government system that is trying to gain a foothold in the galaxy. And what we learn is that it's very hard to create a galaxy-wide government system. But already, very early on, we have a lot of people with a lot of very different opinions about politics, a lot of very different opinions on how we should be going about this. Leia is one of those people. Unfortunately, the New Republic is not the rebellion anymore. They can't just be like this ragtag group of heroes that goes off and like does whatever. Like, no, they kind of have to maintain an image. They kind of have to build up some power. They kind of have to do certain things in certain ways because now they are very much in the public eye. They are who is in charge now. And that's really not sitting well with a lot of people. And I love that because if you read Bloodlines, you see how that evolved and how that changed. Like once Mon Mothma's gone, how exactly does that change everything? Can the New Republic actually stay together? And I really like that this is where that starts. You can already draw kind of a direct line to that book. What's also interesting in this book is that we get a lot of Han and Leia stuff, and obviously that's what I'm most concerned about. I love like Han, Leia, I want the Ben Solo pain train, like all of that stuff, so that's what I was really focused on. And in this book we see that Leia is keeping a lot of secrets. Her and Han were married very quietly. Not a lot of people knew about this, only close friends. I mean, obviously the rumor mill is the rumor mill, but not very many people know that they're actually married, and not very many people know that Leia is pregnant in this book. She's not super far along, so she's not exactly showing yet, but they're just not forthcoming with the information. They're not necessarily keeping it from people, but they're not broadcasting it either. So already we've got a lot of secrets swirling around this family, which we know later on is really gonna come back to bite them. Obviously there is a lot of really good like Ben Solo tea with Leia. If you're in the Ben Solo sphere at all, you probably already read the passages where Leia can feel him like in her womb, like he feels like light, he feels like hope, and she knows that as long as he's happy and he's safe, then everything's gonna be okay. We also feel a little bit of like the darkness pulling in. So there's a lot of interesting little Ben Solo tea, all that kind of stuff within that as well. But I think the most interesting thing to come out of the Han and Leia sections is Han himself. So he goes off with Chewbacca to liberate the Wookiees, to save Kashyyyk from the Empire, and he doesn't ever come back. He doesn't necessarily come back because he can't. He doesn't come back because he won't. He has it in his mind that he needs to do something. He's got to do this. He has to do this for Chewie. He's gonna stay. He's got to help rebuild. He's got to do all of these things before he can go off and like be with Leia and start his family, that kind of stuff. But even when he succeeds, he still won't come home. He keeps putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and it's very obvious that he is running from his responsibilities. He's running from this commitment, this life with Leia. Even though he's in love with her and even though he wants to start a family, which is obvious towards the end of the book, he doesn't think that that's the life for him. He doesn't think that he's suited for it. He doesn't think that he can do it. We see this expanded on in Last Shot, so it's awesome to see it sort of start off here with those doubts, with those insecurities. He doesn't feel like this life is what he should be doing. He wants to go on adventures with Chewie. That commitment isn't really what he thinks is suited for him, and we're gonna see him struggle with that for a long time. He struggles with that in Last Shot. He's doing his own thing in Bloodline. Obviously, him and Leia are separated by the time The Force Awakens comes around, so I loved seeing it get its start in this book. The last thing I want to talk about is actually the planet Jakku, which is going to play a huge role going into Empire's End, which is the last book in this series, because there's something about it. There's something here, and Palpatine did something here. So at the very beginning of this book, we open up 30 years before the rest of this book. So right around like Revenge of the Sith time zone, like that kind of thing. And we learn a lot of things about Jakku. Like this is a place where things go to die. This is a place where trash comes up. Like nobody lives. Like this planet is dead. There's despair. There's no hope here. But like 1,000 years beforehand, it was green and thriving and happy. So like something happened. We don't know what. I don't know if we're going to learn what, but that's sort of interesting. But then we don't get any more from that section until the very end of the book, which was a little bit annoying. But we do learn that Palpatine has his eyes on this planet. He's doing something here, and I'm sure that's going to come up later because the final battle, like the final showdown between the Empire and the New Republic, takes place on this planet. So I'm really excited to see what exactly that's going to mean. And it does make me wonder if maybe we will revisit Jakku in the future. I know some people are saying that they want to see us go back there in episode 9. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. There's so much that needs to happen in episode 9. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this planet come up in like other things, maybe in comic books, maybe even in the new show Resistance. I don't know. But it's really interesting the fact that there is so much emphasis placed on this planet because we do know who we find there later on. But that pretty much does it for everything that I really picked up on in Life Debt. Like I said though, there is a lot more in this book. There are a lot of things to explore. There's a lot of things with like Ray Sloan and what they're doing with like Imperial prisoners, with Nora Wexley. There's like a little love triangle going on here. There's some like smut stuff going on here. It's very interesting. There's a lot to unpack here, but those are the things that I kind of think we need to look out for going into the next book and going into future novels, going into where 9's gonna go, all of that kind of stuff. I would love to know all of your thoughts down in the comments below, because obviously I missed a lot of things, so I'd love to know what you guys picked up on. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for you today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!